Hi, I'm Danelle with Marzetti Kitchens, and today I'm going to be sharing a few tips and tricks with you for making chocolate truffles. It's really pretty easy, and for the filling you just need 3 ingredients. You're going to need 8 ounces of chopped dark chocolate, a half a cup of heavy cream, which I have in my saucepan here, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So once you have your chocolate chopped up, and I just used chocolate chips and ran them through my food processor for a minute or so, just so that I had a little bit smaller pieces that would melt easily. Then you need to take the half a cup of heavy cream and put it in a small saucepan on your stovetop, and you want to bring that to a simmer. So as soon as it starts boiling, you want to take that off of the stove. Then you're going to take your hot cream and you're just going to pour it all right over your chocolate. And then you're going to take your vanilla and just add a teaspoon of that in. And once you've done that, you want to let this mixture just sit for a few minutes so the chocolate melts. So I've been letting my cream and chocolate sit for a few minutes. The chocolate won't be completely melted, and that's okay. So at this point, I'm going to take a whisk and I'm going to start stirring everything together. At first, you need to go pretty slowly so that you don't spill cream over the edges of your bowl. So as you continue to whisk the cream and the chocolate together, you'll see that your chocolate starts to become thick and shiny, and it's going to look something like this. Just make sure you whisk long enough that you have all the chocolate melted and that there aren't any chunks of chocolate left in the mixture. So once you have your chocolate filling all mixed up, you'll want to take this and pour it into a 9-inch pan. And I like to do this because it helps it set up more quickly when it's in a thin layer, and it sets up evenly as well. If you leave it in the bowl, sometimes you can end up with spots that are set up around the edges and the inside is still too soft. So just pouring it into a 9-inch pan like this, we want to make sure we get all the chocolate, and spreading it evenly out will just make it set up more evenly and quicker. So once you have your chocolate spread out in your pan, and don't worry about this being perfect or even at all because you're just going to be scooping it out later, but once you have it all spread out, you're going to take this and put it in your refrigerator. I like to check it after about an hour, and you're looking for kind of a fudge-like consistency. You want it to be something you could scoop out with a spoon. It may take up to 2 hours, so just keep an eye on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and put my chocolate in the refrigerator now. So I've just pulled my truffle filling out of the refrigerator, and you can see it's nice and firm and set up. So I'm getting ready to roll it in some different sprinkles and toppings. And I like to do this because it's a lot less hassle and mess than dipping your truffle filling in chocolate. And you can certainly do that, but I find it's much quicker and easier to just roll it in some different sprinkles. So another part of making truffles that for me can get really messy is scooping the truffles out and rolling them into balls. You end up with chocolate all over your hands, and then I just make a mess when I do that. So I've discovered that if I use a small cookie scoop, I don't have quite the mess. So you just want to run your cookie scoop through your filling until you fill it up. And if it seems kind of hard to scoop, just let your filling sit for a little while at room temperature until you can scoop it pretty easily. So I like to get my scoop full of filling, and then I kind of like to flatten the sides against the edge of the bowl. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover it up with all of our sprinkles and toppings. So once I have that, I can plop it with my scoop right into the sprinkles. So once I have my truffle filling in my sprinkles, I can just kind of roll this around until everything is coated. So you just want to continue this process with your truffle filling and your sprinkles until you've used up all the filling. I'm going to try one this time in the nuts. I'm just going to roll that around, make sure it's all nice and covered. And then I like, when I'm done with the toppings, to put the truffles into a baking pan lined with some parchment or wax paper, because that makes it easy for me to put them back into the fridge to set up if I need to do that. So hopefully if you've never tried making truffles before, you'll be inspired to give it a try. And if you have made truffles, hopefully you learned something new. And the best part about making truffles is when you're all finished and you get to eat them.